Fucking finally.
Anyways, hello everybody. I'm drinking funny juice right now.
How funny? Doug Funny Juice, okay. You're drinking from the Doug Funny.
No, like I did like the little clown sound effect.
Like clown
Speaking
nose.
of being a clown, anyways, it's time to play more Fata Morgana. I love Jacopo. Jacopo's such a funny little guy, you know?
Yes, he's getting hard on for that girl.
I wouldn't
I'm-
phrase it like
Thanks,
that.
Crimson.
Okay.
Oh. At the stream. No.
Yeah, we're
He's
ending
not
it
wrong
now.
though, unfortunately.
We're not
Yeah,
wrong.
This is the
I
part
need
where
y'all to stop.
this is the part where the editor cuts to the outro that we don't have.
Didn't he explicitly say he had to wait until she was 16?
I'm going to start muting people.
We'll start now.
Please start, B.
Oh my god.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Thank you.
I had my controller desynced because we took so long. No, not that one. Not that one. We go to the loading screen. It's been so long I have to readjust.
Hold on a second. I have to get my dog hair in my nose.
The stream is sponsored by staying up till waking up at 3 a.m. and then not going to bed. Isn't that right, B?
Yeah.
We all have terrible sleep
I
patterns.
choose random insomnia at various points in time.
I'm
No,
doing
yeah,
better.
I get it. Like the first day I got sick, what is it? I had this like insane, incredibly vivid dream that literally took up my entire day, like evening. Like I think it was from like 9 p.m. to I woke up at like 7-ish. Yeah. It was almost like 10. I think it was 10 hours. Holy shit. Anyways, time continued its slow, constant march, and soon winter was upon us. The skies were incredibly clear, hardly a cloud in sight. By all appearances, the weather was great, until the occasional gust of wind came along and chilled me to the bone. Each breath came out with a puff of white, dissipating as it drifted upwards. Rubbing my arms made my way to where I knew I would find her. Has she ever once skipped a day these last 3 years? Rain or snow, sweltering heat or bitter cold, she always seems to be here when I come looking. I let a little sigh and then called for her. I swear. It's been so much time in this graveyard that one of these days, someone's going to mistake you for a gravekeeper. Or maybe a grave robber. She turned around to face me. She looked moderately annoyed, her glare piercing as ever. I could hear the soft bite of her voice before she even responded. Someone less familiar with her might perceive her mannerisms as standoffish, not unlike what she had been when I first brought her here. But I could clearly tell the difference. She was warming up, ever so slightly.
I can understand a grave keeper, but I take offense at the suggestion I look like a grave robber. I'm praying for souls who have no one else to see them off.
She was no longer walking on eggshells through every interaction, and her sense of self-worth seemed to have improved as well. I would even go so far as to say that she could get a bit cocky at times, generally at my expense. But that also meant I didn't have to tread quite so carefully around her either. Trading grievances and insults was becoming our personal kind of banter. Rather than signifying a widening rift, the increased level of abuse was a sign of how much closer we'd gotten. Honestly, I don't get it. Why do you care so much?
These are souls that have no one else to pray for them. At best, they may get a bit of lip service from a priest once or twice. It's our responsibility to offer a helping hand to the sick and poor. To pray for the abandoned souls.
Oh boy, here comes another sermon. What I don't get is why you need to pray for the dead at all. They're just bags of bones.
I hope you enjoy eternity in hell, blasphemer.
Hey, that was uncalled for.
I'm joking, obviously.
You take black humor to a new level. The fact that she would even call such remarks a joke was proof enough of how far she had come. This wasn't the first time I had told her I thought that the living were more important than the dead, and we still disagreed on that point. But our differences in value had caused her to push away much harder before than she did now. At least I was pretty sure she wasn't pushing me away as much. Hey, it's that time again, Morgana. Come on, don't turn away from me. I know you can hear me. I brought ointments, let me put it on you.
It's a waste of time.
You don't know that. Your arms look much better than before. It won't be long before your face starts healing, too.
Ointment isn't free. You're wasting your money.
It's my money. I can use it however I please. So just shut up and let me do this.
You're a very obnoxious man, you know.
What was that? You wanted me to rub it in real hard, do you?
Fine.
Well, it might appear I wanted something in return for my efforts. I wasn't in it for gratitude or reward. It was more like my way of retaliating. She badmouthed me. I made her take my ointment. We had performed the ritual hundreds of times now, though the exact shape of the exchange slowly evolved over time. Where I would once desperately attempt to shoot down her assertions of wasting your time, and there's no point, I had come to realize that doing so only put unnecessary stress on her, so I started jabbing back instead. And for all her complaining, I was pretty sure Morgana wasn't entirely put off by my stubborn insistence. The day after the festival, when I declared my intent to keep trying to heal her face, she had responded with, "I won't stop complaining either." And I had said, "After I'll have to practice not letting it get under my skin as much then." I still remembered that day quite vividly, and I hope she did as well. So while it might come off like we were genuinely fighting, in reality I quite enjoyed our little sparring matches. She was still outwardly reticent and sulky as ever, but in a kind of charming way, as we established this routine. Not having to be so painfully careful with my words made things easier for me as well.
What are you laughing about?
Oh, nothing. Hey, don't you give me that death glare of yours.
You think this is me glaring? So, I've been meaning to ask you something.
And what would that be?
What are you hoping to get out of repairing my face?
I'm not trying to get anything. I just want you to heal up.
And here I thought you were going to try and make me work at the brothel.
How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not going to make you be a prostitute.
What other reason could you have for wanting my face to get better?
Because I want to see it. Isn't that enough? Just so we're clear, that wasn't me hitting on you, okay?
The thought never occurred to me. I hope you're prepared to be let down if I ever do heal. In fact, you had best not get your hopes up at all. The higher you let your expectations climb, the greater your disappointment will be when I turn out to be equally hideous beneath these scars. Not even I can remember what I...
I'm not afraid to be disappointed. That possibility is just part of the fun.
You have as much tact as a worm.
No tact and a preference for ugly girls, I'm told. I'm a real winner.
Ugly It's a wonder no one throttles you in your sleep.
I'll still be your friend, even if you turned out to be the ugliest girl in the city. You should be grateful.
You're unbelievable. And to think I used to think you were a half-decent man.
If you'd like me to go back to walking on thin ice, I can. But my gut tells me that's not what you really want.
There's a difference between not sugarcoating your words and being outright rude, you realize.
Yeah, you're one to talk.
How is it you haven't managed to chase off everyone in your life yet?
Give it a few years. I act like a decent guy around other people. Do my best to fit in.
Then why are you such a dolt around me?
Just doing my best to fit in.
So you're saying this is my fault?
Everyone can use a thorn or two. Makes them more exciting. You, especially. Okay, that should be everything. Does it sting anywhere?
Not particularly, no.
Alright. Oh, also, finish up here and go back to the brothel soon. Unless you'd rather I drag you there.
Why?
Seriously? It's your damned birthday, that's why.
And?
What do you think, dimwit? Marie and the girls want to celebrate! Get back there soon, okay? I'm planning to drop by, too. Okay?
Okay.
As much as I'm loath to admit it, she can be kind of cute when she's not wishing me an eternity in hell. Not that I'm ever letting those words leave my lips. So, hey,
I thought you were leaving.
one day, I'll show you the world.
Sometimes I wonder if that's the only phrase you know. Yes, I heard you the first 100 times. I won't get my hopes up.
And she thinks I don't sugarcoat my words. Get your hopes up, damn it. Anyway, I'll see you later. I had every intention of making good on that promise. And I had more than enough reason to believe I could. Though, admittedly, it wasn't until recently that I could say so with such confidence. It was no longer a mere slum rat's fantasy. Our ranks were getting stronger by the day. Discontent with the Lord was up, but overall, so was our morale. I could feel it. The time was near. Though the biggest motivating factor lay elsewhere, in something that had occurred about a month earlier. I had to share that little nugget with anyone else, though. This could be the key to bringing it all together. But I need to keep my head in the right place today. It's Morgana's birthday above anything else. Planning this revolution can wait another day. It's probably a bit too eager to get started. My judgment clouded by anticipation. The very thought that I could soon be someone of real significance. And that excitement had probably leaked a bit into my conversation with Morgana. If only I had understood, had truly grasped the extent of my own capabilities, where I should have been focusing my effort, then perhaps we could have ended up in a very different path. But it would not be until much, much later that I came to realize the error of my ways.
About time you showed up. Get in and give us a hand, would you?
Hold on, I'm fucking burping. There we go. I was engulfed in the scent of roasting meat as soon as I stepped through the back door of the brothel. It smelled like I had even been seasoned with herbs. Kicking my appetite into high gear. For the common man, culinary herbs were a delicacy. Expensive and not something you could get your hands on easily. That went doubly so for us in the slums. This is much more elaborate than I was expecting. How did you even get all the supplies you needed?
It's mostly a mismatch of everyone's rainy day funds. Events like these are about the only way I can convince the girls to let loose. Everyone's all so concerned about making sure they've always got plenty saved up, which ain't a bad thing in itself, but they're gonna end up stressing themselves straight into the grave.
I smirked. Maria's heart was always with the girls. Obviously, this party was still for Morgana. The parties were meant to be enjoyed by everyone involved, not only the star.
It would have been even better if we could have given all the girls a night off and party till we dropped. But unfortunately, business isn't strong enough to afford that. And I'd rather not deal with a bunch of blue ball buffoons bitching to at me about it either. So all the girls who couldn't take off are getting an extra slice of me to make up for it. You're on cutting duty. And make sure to cut them exactly the same size, not with anyone blowing the top about not getting their fair share. The fate of the party is in your hands. Don't fuck this up.
I get the feeling I'll be their punching bag no matter how precisely I cut the meat. On a somewhat different note, I'm surprised you had herbs lying around.
Oh yeah, those are...
Jaren, stop arguing.
Sorry. They were a gift from one of my regs.
Hello, Jaren.
What's up, Jackie?
You're as obnoxiously perky as ever, I see.
That's how you're gonna greet me, you big butt?
Your particular sensitive for a customer base, isn't that a relentless perk? Well, it's a relentless perk that keeps them perky.
I'm not sure that's supposed to be a compliment.
Some girls have to pretend to be spunky herds to keep those guys coming back. But you're a natural, that's impressive as hell.
It is? Phew, I got the big boss's seal of approval.
I don't think you quite get it, Jaren.
You know how Jaren used to work up in the city? Well, one of our clients told her when she moved down here. And he's the one who gave her the herbs. Not the cheap bottom of the barrel stuff either. This is some primo shit. Nice haul, Jaren.
You're right. You don't get this kind of aroma from a low-quality plant. It's strong enough I almost wonder if people outside can smell it.
I'll have at least a few customers around here thinking they were craving pussy only to find out they were really hungry.
This is what good pussy smells like, after all. Someone needs to get this woman a damn filter.
I really hope Morg likes it. I know she used to hate even the sight of meat, but it seems like she's kind of gotten over that recently-ish.
People do change over time, so maybe she'll be fine.
Maybe she has some kind of traumatic meat-related past, and she's just not overcome it.
Or something to that effect. Random prostitute.
Hey, some help with these dishes would be real nice. Oh, pick me, I'll do it.
Seems like you picked yourself.
I know. Alright, Jackie, see you in a bit.
It shouldn't take long for her to make this place her home.
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Why, do you not want her here or something? Because personally, I think everything I can do to make everyone here feel at home.
No, I never said.
Why are you so serious? It was a joke. I agree with you entirely. A girl like her doesn't belong in a whorehouse.
No, she doesn't. A while back, I suggested that Jaren look into some other line of work, to take up singing instead of prostitution. On her days off, she still went to the pub and performed, always to great acclaim. And it seemed she'd seriously consider my proposition. A few days later, she said,
I think I'd rather stick around at the brothel for a while. You and Maria treat me like family. And I want to be with my family for now, you know?
If that's what she wants, that's her choice. I have no right to force what I think is best on her.
So, question.
Answer? Yeah?
Have you decided what you're going to give her?
I haven't the faintest idea what you're referring to.
Bullshit. I know, you know. I know you know I know.
Why does she have to be so damned astute? Was it just that obvious? I hadn't spoken about my feelings for Morgana with anyone since I'd realized I had them. Not even Maria, my closest friend. But she had a way of seeing right through me. And while she often poked fun at me for about the age difference, she never actually mocked me. Not seriously, at least. Though she did avoid bringing it up when Sharon was around out of respect for her feelings. Pretty much all the other girls seemed to have picked up on it. So Jaren likely had as well. Then again, it was Jaren, so it was equally likely she had an inkling. After one particularly extensive round of teasing, Maria had gone on to say...
In the end, all that really matters is you're happy. Sure, I feel bad for Jaren. But ultimately, me and you, we've been to hell and back together. If I have to pick one of you, it'll be you. And yeah, I know, cheesy as fuck, you don't have to tell me. But hey, there's still a chance Morgana will give you the most brutal rejection of all time. Yeah, I call that one more likely than the alternative.
That was her way of showing support.
So, what you got her? As your big sister, I'd be happy to check out her present before you give it to her. Make sure you don't make it too big of an ass out of yourself.
Again, I'm older than you, and again, we're not related. I bought a necklace, as per your suggestion. Girls appreciate that sort of thing, don't they?
Most do. Me, I've got a taste for knives, I don't know such pointy things. I doubt she has much interest in those, though.
Sometimes I wonder if you're actually a girl.
Excuse you. Who's the last guy who saw with tits like this? I'm pretty damn smoking if I do say so myself. You tell me this body don't light a fire in your loins?
Not even a spark. I've grown so accustomed to seeing you over the years, you don't even register in that part of my brain.
Is that how it works? You spend so much time with someone you go numb.
Would you rather I did find you arousing?
Hell no. If so much as I have fingered me, I'll make sure you never get it up again.
Then don't bring up the subject. I'm going to choose to believe that she means I won't get up on my feet again.
So?
So?
Today's the day, right? You give her a present, then you finally tell her how you feel?
Excuse me? Why would I?
Don't be a wuss. It's about damn time you met up and told her. I think you've got a better chance than you think.
Do I need to remind you how old she is?
Well, as of today. Practically an adult. I wasn't even dick at that age.
You're comparing her to you?
The longer you hold off saying something, the more difficult it becomes. Break a leg! Party's gonna be in the back, so there won't be any customers around to interfere.
Alright.
Anyhow, I've got decorations to put up. You get going, meat boy.
Meat boy? Waiting until she turned 16. Really be putting it off for too long. How would I even go about saying it, assuming I actually did? Even if your face still isn't healed in 4 years, I'll take you as my lifetime partner, Morgana. God, no, that's terrible. That's be a better way to put it. It's much for a nice, relaxing birthday party. Morgana arrived as the sun was beginning to set, and our preparations neared completion. Myself, Maria, Jaren, and a handful of others who didn't have the work were gathered in the back room. Dishes stacked with food lined the floor, and our group sat in a circle around it, and several different conversations going on at once.
I apologize for not being able to assist in any way.
I apologize. It's your birthday. Did you will bum down and let the world roll around you for once?
If you insist.
Atta girl. Hop on right down. Not in the freaking corner.
Hey, Morgana. There's space next to me. It's a much better spot than over there in the corner. You have easy access to anything you'd like to eat. Though I suppose if you wanted, I could get your food for you.
I'll sit next to Maria.
Don't think I didn't hear that.
Hey there, Morgs. How's the drink? Your head spinning yet?
It most certainly is not.
Well, let's make it spin. Let's make the whole world spin. Whee!
Here, for the record, a snark is like going like...
It's a snort. It's a snark.
It's a little bit like a snort. I don't know how to like properly... I can't properly like verbalize it.
No, often visit your mother!
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god.
I'm
God.
sick. Cut me some slack, goddamn.
AC, you
I
are loud.
did try snorting, but the mic didn't pick it up, so I had to make it.
It is the sound effect you make when you snicker. Anyways. Goodness gracious.
Okay. World spin!
Whee! Wine is only to be used for nourishment. It is not meant for base recreation. You shall be smitten down from above if...
It's fine, don't worry. Even God's taking the day off to get wasted out of his mind.
How dare you disrespect the Lord like that?
Eat, drink, eat, drink.
Wait, stop! I can't!
I'm in heaven. My stomach's in heaven. Mm.
Morgana?
No.
Khan? Hello?
Oh, hold up.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
The computer froze.
Well,
Good old. The classic.
I can't believe the loud cough
Jesus
that I
Christ,
had.
AC, move the fuck away
Holy
from the
shit.
mic, please.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That was louder than the coughs you had.
There it goes.
Also, Rindy, can you move away from the microphone when you laugh? I
Me?
get this is funny,
Oh.
but still.
What happened? My computer was frozen. I
Weird.
missed it.
Mhm.
Why is it's extra sensitive today for some reason? That's odd. I'm not close to my mic at
No,
all.
like, don't get me wrong. I was just being an observation. I think it's fucking funny. It's like I get it. It's kind of silly to be talking about a 12-year-old girl like this. Yes.
No, but
sounds
it is weird that it picked it up. Like, currently the mic is pretty far away, but it still lights up when I, like, make, like, random ass noises, even with noise suppression. I don't know.
And she
Is this
doesn't even
better?
drink wine on her birthday.
She's sound asleep.
Feel like a guitar battery was celebrating here. What do you say? Want me to give her a good whack upside the head?
No, it's fine. Let her sleep. She looks so happy. I would almost feel bad waking her.
If you say so. You're the one in charge today. So, you and Jaren getting along alright?
Huh?
It looked like you were trying to keep your distance a little while back. I don't get that impression from you anymore, but if there's any friction at all, don't hesitate to let me know.
Hmm.
Hmm?
I'm getting along fine with her now. If anything does come up, I will tell you.
Okay. Well, I'm really glad to hear it. With Jaren, it's... well, what you see, what you get. Once you get past that, there's never a dull moment with her.
Indeed. Although, it wasn't anything I did that cleared the air between us, but
Oh?
never mind.
Hmm. You know that. It's also thinks because he's paying at me, he can do whatever it feels like. And I have to tell him back off. I can't believe some of these guys.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I've got a good one too. The other day, this guy came in totally shit-faced.
Wait, are you serious? Why didn't you tell me about this earlier? I'd have chased a free coffee by now.
It seems like anytime we get more than a couple of these girls together, conversation inevitably drifts back to work. Which, of course, is the subject Morgana's least keen on. Looks like she wants to run away. Guess I've gotta step in. Guys think you can maybe change the subject?
Like we have anything else to talk about?
Making the birthday girl want to hide in the corner defeats the whole purpose, don't you think?
Oh. No, don't mind me. I don't have anything I want to talk about.
At least eat something, then.
I've eaten plenty, thank you. I'm quite full.
Then how about the cookies? They're barely sweetened and dry as rocks, but they're edible.
You little bitch! You got some stone to shit up my cookies to my face.
Stop it, Maria! Stop throwing things at me! For God's sake, can you not show a modicum of decorum for just one day?
Yeah, you're totally one to talk. You could try not being a massive dick for once in your life.
Name one thing I've done to warrant this kind of abuse!
You first. You're the one who started throwing accusations.
I guess one of many prostitutes?
I guess, yeah.
No, you know what? Okay, here. One prostitute do the first line, then everybody who was a prostitute before will start chanting fight, fight, fight.
There it is.
Then up until lovebirds.
Right on schedule.
You two little lovebirds. Fight! 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 Fight!
Rip his dick off!
Oh, here, me and you, Rindy.
Oh my god.
1, 2, 3.
We are not lovebirds!
So close.
Blech. I don't even care anymore. You are right about one thing, though. This is Morgana's day, so let's change the subject.
Like I said, I don't have anything to talk about.
Sure you do. We just have to look a little harder. Not saying you have to remain a set for us. It can be anything. Let's see. Here's an idea. Are there any guys you got your eyes on?
Oh, wait, hold on a second. You missed a line there. Morgana. Oh gosh, darn. Khan is just having the worst fucking time right now. Should we have somebody take over from Morgs in the meantime?
Give it 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, you know, free discussion for the meantime.
Like school. This sounds like a job for the mystery gang.
Oh god.
There is. His name is Jesus.
my favorite addition to the mystery gang. Jesus Christ.
So I just got back from stuffing my shin into a paint bucket. What's going on? Something hung up?
Oh, jeez.
Boy, am I glad that Jesus is frozen in there and that we're out here.
You gotta have someone to replace him.
Oh, hey,
Can you hear me now?
Jesus.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
You're good, Gun. You're good.
Yes.
See, told you 2 minutes is all I needed.
That's it. After the stream tonight, I'm uninstalling Epic Games.
I don't think that Epic Games is the reason why this is happening, Con.
I also don't think so.
It was the last time.
But it is like, it is quite slow and freezy whenever it wants to do anything.
Tell it if you have it running.
Is Epic Games running?
No, but it was working fine until I installed Epic Games.
Like,
weird.
If something's not like running, it's not going to cause problems. But whatever, just focus on doing the reading for right now, please.
There is.
What? Seriously? Holy shit! Who is it? Tell me. Who's like a guy?
God.
Sorry.
Well, he's even older. That's grosser. Like, God is like ancient. He's way too old.
Morgana, God is your dad?
As far as she knows. That's still pretty bad, though.
That moment where you call God your daddy.
Oh, God.
Goddy.
Oh, man. Now who's gonna be it? Now who's the angel FBI?
No, I noticed that. I mean, I can't believe that Morgana was born from the Catholic God.
Maria. Don't give me that look. I don't need your sympathy.
You're gonna dream big, right? Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Getting after the all-powerful, all-knowing God. I'm with you.
You bald-faced liar!
The grass may be hell of a lot greener up there, but it's a bit far, don't you think? You're better off settling for the weeds down here.
Did she just imply I'm a weed?
Hey, the young man over.
Wait, stop right there! Don't say another word!
See, me and my big mouth. I almost did your job for you.
Damn it, Maria! This is not good. Like hell I'm going to let her spill it on a whim. I have to do something before she has another slip of the tongue. Morgana! What she was trying to say is that I
have to go.
What?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Sure. Oh wow, the audio cut out for you a bunch. I have to turn off fucking noise suppression for this.
These guys are gonna last much longer if you keep this up.
This is no laughing matter.
What the hell? Don't throw things at me.
You did it first! Damn it all!
Oh, that was a good laugh. God, you're such a dork. How hard is it to just say it?
It would have been easier if you hadn't cornered me like that.
Is it me to believe you would have done it without a little nudge?
I would have. Eventually.
Eventually you're gonna cut it. Now's the right time. And don't worry, me and the girls won't make fun of you too much for getting your rocks off to little girls.
That's not the reason I like her. Besides, I would at least wait 4 years before.
Doesn't mean you can tell her now. I think you're doing wonders, really.
What a supportive woman.
She is, well, you know. So I think knowing someone cares about her, about her lip. What?
Her'll lighten the load.
As in
Lighten
her
the load a
will.
little bit. I know, but it's such a strange thing.
It's like her will.
I know, but
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we care about her too. She's like family. There's some things sister love just can't hold a candle to. Mushy romance may not be my cup of tea, but that doesn't mean even I don't think it'd be nice to have something special every once in a while. When she comes back, give her a necklace and tell her how you feel. And if she turns you down, we can have a good laugh about it.
Marie and a few other girls chuckled. My lips had twisted almost into a knot from sheer overwhelming discomfort, but at the same time I knew she had a point. I could say how I felt, now just as easily as 4 years from now. It couldn't develop into anything for some time yet, no, but simply letting Morgana know that someone cared about her, and her specifically, could very well lighten some of the load she bore. As much as he had warmed up to us, she still very clearly kept herself walled off. And though she tried to pretend otherwise, she did get rather gloomy whenever she passed by something reflective. But if I could convince her that her physical appearance had no bearing on my feelings, then maybe, just maybe, it could clear away some of the clouds hanging over her. Possibly even, light the way to the day where I could at least see her smile. That was all the motivation I needed. I'll do it. I'll tell her. Not only for myself, but for her as well. I can do this. And now I'm making myself nervous as hell! Calm yourself, Jacopo. This is nothing. You've entered the Lord's manna for crying out loud. Telling a girl you feel is considerably less likely to kill you. Even a child could do it.
You look so tense, your nose could snap at any moment.
I am not! God damn it! Please hurry up, Morgana! I want to get this over with as soon as possible. Was that a...
Sound like a scream. Trouble with the client, maybe?
No, it didn't sound like that kind of scream. Something's wrong. I can feel it in my gut. Marie, I need to take the girls down to the cellar. Now!
Alright, we'll set him down. But I'm coming with you to see what's up. It could just be a client causing a ruckus.
No, you go with the girls. I'll check it out. Now get moving!
Okay, I'm going. Wake up, Jaren. Come on.
Now! Following the first, there were several more screams intermingled with what sounded like men shouting from the guest room. Something... fuck. Something very bad was happening out there. My sword is back at the armory. Damn it! Taking a brief detour to the kitchen to grab a knife, I then dashed back to the corridor towards the source of the disturbance. Fuck. Okay. Shoving my way past a several layer thick makeshift curtain. No, sorry, I saw something really fucking funny. It's completely irrelevant to this. Anyways, a prostitute is dying.
Oh no, help!
So, stay back. I'm just a customer. I don't have anything.
What the hell was I seeing? Fuck.
Get off!
Why was this happening? Antagonistic.
That's seriously all they got.
There you go.
My shit's worth more than most of this garbage.
Take the whores alive, you hear me? They'll probably sell for more than anything else we find. They were laying waste to the brothel. Untrained, unarmed, and unclothed, the girls and their clients alike were helpless against the slaughter being rained down upon them. Bludgeoned, mutilated, massacred. A good dozen men, thieves by the looks of it, had swarmed the brothel, utterly ravaging it. Blood splattered every which way, staining the colorful fabrics hanging on the walls. The stench of blood, screams of agony, cries of fear, and hoots of mad glee all blended into one sickening blur. Gah! I stepped into the chaos, but stopped myself at the last second. I was furious. Of course I was. I knew those ghouls in this band of barbarians were slaughtering them before my very eyes. I wanted nothing more than to charge in and rescue all of them, but also knew damn well that me charging in there alone would accomplish nothing. God damn it! Why now? Why here? Why? And how did they get so many men in here? If there was any sense of organized movement, someone would have noticed. I would have heard about it. How did they manage to sneak past everyone we have on patrol? How is it even possible a bunch of them damned bandits managed to organize a raid of this scale without anyone catching wind of it? God damn it! There's no saving anyone in the guest room. I need to find whoever else I can and get them out the back. As soon as I had decided there was nothing I could do here, my next job was obviously to minimize any further loss of life. I knew, logically, it was the smart thing to do, but that knowledge didn't do anything to quell the anger roiling around inside me. And then another thought snapped into the front of my mind, rattling me further. Morgana! She had said that she was going to be in the bathroom, which meant that she hadn't come this way. Or so I dearly hoped. But hope was enough to overcome the fear that she had. I searched frantically for any sign of her. More panicked than I even realized. I knew exactly what one of these brutes would do to Morgana if they happened to cross her. A prostitute in decent health they would merely take captive, but seeing Morgana's face, they would assume that she had some kind of disease. And they would kill her without a second thought. Morgana! Intending to take my search elsewhere, I set off, my shadow subtly darkening, but in too much of a rush to notice. Something seemed to crash into me from behind. The world flashed in and out of view. For a split second, the multicolored fabrics around me appeared in black and white, and I barely held on to my consciousness. A few seconds later, the pain set in. My gaze drifted torn downward toward the curious protrusion in my stomach, tip of a blade sticking out of my gut. Blood streamed along the metal surface. What? Just my body, distinctly with every minuscule movement of the blade as it slid through raw flesh back out of the hole it entered. It was almost enough to make my legs buckle. I finally managed to turn all the way around. There stood a large man, probably grinning. He kicked me backward, and then rammed his heel through the gash in my stomach. I let an animalistic howl. It was a pain like any I'd ever experienced before. Well, as though I had been struck by lightning. The only thing I had room for in my mind was overwhelming agony. Before long, it reached to a breaking point. Damn it! And the whole world went black.
I can really tell you were invested with the chuckling.
No, okay, I'm sorry. All right, you know what? I'm just going to fucking get this bitch out of the way. You wanna know? You wanna know what I thought was really fucking funny?
I'm very curious.
You know what I thought was so fucking funny?
I'm very curious.
What was the name?
What is the shit
It's
post?
this fucking Twitter post. For
God damn it!
It says 100 ways to
muted.
slightly. It says 100 ways to slightly improve your life without really trying. And somebody
I
said,
was muted.
Fuck a massive apple.
I was muted, but I was saying, God, please don't be the fucking apple.
Where, like, are you scrolling on Twitter
literally
while
the
reading?
fucking
Yeah,
How does this work?
I was scrolling on Twitter while reading because I've already read this visual novel, and I just fucking saw this, and I don't know why, but it fucked me up so hard. I'm so sorry.
I don't. It's just a naked old cartoon man next to an apple.
Hey, look at it this way.
It's dead.
Why is he naked in the bed
Hey,
with
look at
a
it this way.
vagina?
No.
Why?
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
It's just,
Look at it.
why is he fighting it fucking better than giant apple?
Look at it. Look at it this way. Look at it this way. There's more than one way to core an apple.
They're just cuddle buddies. It's like
I'm
Bert and
so
Ernie.
sorry. Oh
No, it just means an apple fuck a day keeps the doctor away.
Okay. Okay, I'm good now. I'm good. All right.
Sounds like this stream is really apples and oranges.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Okay, that one is
I'm
actually kind of bad.
Okay.
As a sheep
I think
name.
this is Maria.
Orange example. Oh. Jacopo.
Oobity-doob.
Jacopo. Wake up, please. Open your eyes. Can't even dine on me too. I'm begging you, open your eyes. Jacopo.
Where am I? The back room of the brothel. I'm alive? Huh. Where is she?
Lie back down. Are you trying to kill yourself? You're hurt bad enough as it is.
I've been bandaged up. They're still bright red. I guess the bleeding hasn't stopped. I'm cold.
Sweet God, I was sure I had lost you.
Maria, are you crying?
You got a problem with that? Asshole.
I'm sorry. How many years has it been since I last saw her cry? It was back when she was 12, I think. Besides us, there are 2 other girls here. No sign of Morgana. Or Jared. This can't be everyone who made it. Fuck you. Why'd you post an Applebee's logo?
If you don't get your ass
Keep
on
it-
I'm
Twitter,
so sorry.
Keep it-
I'm not
keep it
looking at
together.
Twitter
Keep
anymore.
it
I'm not
together.
looking at Twitter. It's the fucking
Orange,
Applebee's
you
logo.
gotta be
It's the
Applebee's.
fucking Applebee's logo.
Apple apples.
Stop
Never
posting
given-
fucking apples right now. I'm closing Discord. I'm closing all of my shit. I'm not talking about apples anymore. Okay, anyways. This can't be everyone who made it, can it? I have to see.
What did I just say? Lie your ass back down. You need to give it some time to heal before you move around much. Jacopo!
Ignoring Maria's pleas, I stumbled my way towards the guest room, leaning against the wall for support. I had evidently lost quite a bit of blood. I was freezing cold and constantly on the edge of vomiting. My body was heavy, like someone strapped a boulder to my back, and my vision swirled, distorting with each step I took. I knew it wasn't that long of a walk from the back to the front, that it felt like it would take me ages just to get down this hall. Like I was on an endless march toward a vast, empty abyss. I had braced myself. But what I felt when I stepped into that room was a despair too deep for words. The meager scraps of strength that had carried me this far dissipated, and I slowly slid down to my knees. The door hung open, a blood-soaked curtain flapping in the wind. The deep crimson was a stark contrast against the brightly colored fabric. The girls had dyed it themselves. I could still remember Maria first telling me about it however many years before, her eyes alight with pride. How, when you put a whole bunch of different colors together, it makes the place seem almost otherworldly. And the patrons who had been drawn in by its allure today, had not found themselves in the land of milk and honey, but instead been cast into a pit of death. Several corpses lay motionless around the room, their faces twisted in agony, their eyes vacant. What the hell? Why? How could this happen? I asked, stupefied, neither expecting an answer, nor trying to place the blame on anyone's shoulders. It was an empty, meaningless lamentation. Powerless as the man who had uttered it. All of us felt the same way. Hopeless, helpless, horrified. No more than an hour ago, we'd been having a party, for God's sake. Fooling around like a bunch of idiots. The girls complaining about their clients. Plates of food specifically made for her birthday. Her birthday. Where's Morgana?
I'll find her.
Why not?
I'm sorry, I looked everywhere. But I couldn't find her. I'm so sorry.
I wanted to tell her I wasn't blaming her, but I couldn't find the words. If anyone, it was myself I was disappointed in. How could I have failed to keep her safe? Why had I been unable to find her? Why was I so damn powerless? This was supposed to be a good day for her. I wanted to make Morgana's 12th birthday into a special occasion. Something truly memorable. To celebrate the bright future ahead of her. And I had failed. In the worst way imaginable. What was I supposed to be? Was supposed to be a celebration of life? And then in a pile of corpses. Most of the surviving girls taken captive, and the brothel in shambles. And Morgana, who it was all supposed to be for, was most likely dead as well. She was dead. Morgana was dead. Before I had the chance to say anything. The girl I loved was gone. All because I was weak. Because I hadn't been cautious enough. Because I was completely, utterly powerless. And now she was gone for good! Before I managed to make her smile even once! I was going to show her the world? How full of myself was I! I hadn't done a single damn thing for her! Physical strength was meaningless for what I wanted to achieve. What good was being number 2 in a little band of peacekeepers if I couldn't even stand up to a pack of bandits? I didn't have any real power. I was worthless, helpless, weak. My sole job was to keep this place safe. It was painfully clear now how unsuited to the task I was. My initial fears were right. It was only the 4 of us who would make it through the assault. Maria said that. While they had made it to the cellar safely, they were soon discovered and most of the girls taken captive. Jaren included. If only she had quit, left the brothel, taking up singing at the pub, then she could have been spared this. Spared having to be kidnapped for a 3rd time. But because she thought of us as family, because she cared about and wanted to be with us, she was taken away. If I had power, then all of this could have been prevented. Not physical strength or skill with a blade, but real, meaningful power. Political influence, import. If I weren't a peasant, no one would dare stand up to me. No petty thief would ever consider raiding my property. I could have hired guards to watch over the brothel. The only reason the Lord, that reprehensible man, was still alive was because he had real power, enough to assure his own safety. If I had that kind of power, everyone would still be here, safe and sound. I could have made certain of that. Maria wouldn't be crying. Jaren would still be part of our family. And she Morgana would still be alive. She would still be by my side. That one simple thing could keep anything like this from happening again. In short order, Gratian burst into the brothel. Seeing the carnage, he wailed in grief, which quickly transformed into fury. I watched on, only really half paying attention as he raged. He marched over and said something or another, though I couldn't say what. After the fact, Maria told me that I had been in a stupor the whole time Gratian was there. He had apparently tried to cheer me up, though Sue found himself frustrated and finally disappointed in me. It took 3 days for me to get back on my feet. There was no sign of Morgana's body anywhere in the ruins of the brothel, but there was a chance, however slight, that she was still alive. I clutched tight to that tiny sliver of hope, searching desperately for any sign of her. Maybe she had realized something was wrong and gone into hiding. But no matter how many people I talked to, no one had seen anyone who matched the description. She was just gone, like a puff of smoke. Which left two possibilities. Either she'd been taken along with the other girls to be sold off, or she had been killed, and her body disposed of somewhere out of sight. Well, the latter seemed significantly more likely. Deep down, I still yearned for even the slightest trace of her. Maria encouraged me to let go, to move on, though I knew, or well enough to know, it wasn't out of a lack of compassion. The whole affair had visibly taken its toll on me. One day, about a week later, my wounds still healing, I made my way through the slums. Nestled away in the alleyway stood a nondescript little shack. I knocked on the door, and a few moments later, it slid barely half an inch open, just enough for the sole resident to peer out at me, suspicion clearly visible in her eyes. But once she realized it was me, warmth filled her gaze, and she waved for me to come inside. It is that somehow made it feel like I was being invited into another world entirely. Beyond the door stood a noblewoman who held herself with an elegance and grace unbefitting of the slums, but a darkness that felt right at home. Rindy.
Oh. I heard about the attack on the brothel. And that you were hurt. I'm so glad to see you're well.
You were concerned about my safety. The woman pulled back her hood, revealing her face. Though age had clearly begun taking its toll on her, there was still a striking beauty to her. A kind of beauty impossible to attain down here in the dregs of society. Her hair was a burnt brown, her skin dark, and her facial structure somewhat similar to mine. I remembered that this wasn't her first time I'd seen her, though it was fairly recently, not that many years ago she would have me believe. We had briefly crossed paths on the day of the Midsummer Festival. The woman I had bumped into, that was her.
Worse, show a mother who is not always concerned about her child's safety.
The woman's name was Generva, and she claimed to have been a maidservant for the previous lord. It was unusual enough for someone of her stature to be living in a run-down shack in the slums, but her story got even stranger. She had supposedly had intimate relations with him. She had borne his illegitimate son, and a month earlier, she had come to me and said I was that child. Says the woman I'd never seen until a month ago.
Physical distance has no bearing on a mother's love. If you had gone to speak with the Lord and revealed your lineage when I first came to see you, you would have never been in that kind of danger.
Generva spoke as though she knew exactly what had been going through my mind this past week. The very words that had dominated my thoughts as I looked out upon the wreckage. If only I'd done as she said and asserted my nobility. Then I would have had the power to prevent the attack on the brothel. To protect the people I loved. If what Generva said was true, the Bonnier family once possessed more land than even the king. That land and the family were divided up between each of their sons. The Barniers were only a few generations removed from the current royal family, which was why they controlled so much land in the first place. And that meant that what had diluted with each successive generation, there was still royal blood in the Barnier bloodline. And a child begotten by the previous lord was more than entitled to a place among the nobility. However, realistically speaking, even if I had lent my ear to her cajolery, it wouldn't have changed anything. Or worse, I could very well no longer be in this world. I wasn't stupid. This noblewoman, she was just using me.
There is still time. Go to the Lord's Manor. Show him.
I'm not really your son, am I? She never felt silent for a moment, observing me. I had no memories of my mother. Sure, it might be nice if she were to show back up someday, but it just wasn't likely. Her whole story was extremely contrived. The sun could decide to rise from the west one day, and there would still not be a drop of noble blood in my veins. I knew perfectly well how filthy the blood in me was. Discussion will progress much smoother if we both know what the other wants out of the arrangement. Start by telling me who you really are. Were you actually a maidservant for the previous lord?
Yes, I was.
She gave a nod, then walked over to a grimy shelf and retrieved a ring that looked very much out of place. It was made of gold, engraved with an elaborate insignia. This wasn't a metal worker anywhere in the slums, or the city proper at that, who could craft a piece so intricate.
Look at this. It's a Barnier family crest. The previous lord gave me this ring as a gift. And I've kept it ever since, even after our relationship was discovered and I was chased out. I didn't sell it because I knew I was with child. They will have no choice but to acknowledge you as a legitimate heir if you show them this ring.
What do you want? Why'd you wait so long to come find me, then?
I was afraid I might kill you if I brought you in as a baby.
Why are we separated?
Misfortune. One day bandits came and kidnapped you. Presumably they were hired by the Barnier estate because they didn't want your existence coming to light. I consider it a miracle you're still alive.
I can only imagine the stern look on my face as I listened to Genova speak. Part of me did, indeed, want to take everything she said as true. Wanted to believe I was someone important. Wanted to grab hold of the fantasy that I did have noble blood in me, and never let go of it. And had I not come to face with my own powerlessness a week earlier, perhaps I could have swallowed the delusion, used as a stepping stone for my dream to show Morgana the world. It would appear you've done your research. I don't have any other family, to the best of my knowledge, which does indeed make me a good candidate for you to step in and claim your stake on. If I were to guess, your child with the Lord has either passed away, or never existed at all. It's probably true that you worked at the Barnier's Manor, and it's probably true that you had relations with the former Lord. You were chased out, and now you live in poverty. You want to go back to your former, more comfortable life, and while you're at it, take vengeance out on the current Lord. Or perhaps you simply want the entire noble class to suffer. The specifics of your motives are irrelevant, though. Being a woman, you have no means to accomplish that yourself, so came up with the idea of using a fake son. If your child were still alive, he would be right about my age, wouldn't he? And we look similar enough for you to convincingly claim we're related. But the biggest reason you chose me is because I've made something of a name for myself. Because I was one of the people involved in enticing the revolt 3 years ago. The perfect choice to spearhead a revolution. How dramatic. The man who set the Lord's slaves free was secretly his family. The people would eat it right up. So how far off am I?
Huh. You're sharp for a filthy peasant. It would seem I chose wisely.
I was right. She was a manipulative, conniving shyster. But her insults didn't bother me in the slightest. Those words made so much more sense than any mad claim that I had royal blood in me, that I was some kind of hero. Following suit, I twisted my lips into a smirk. I was a filthy peasant, and I was fine with that. All it meant was that I had to claw my way to the top. I'm in. Ginevra and I then discussed the details of her scheme, after which she gave me the Barnier's ring. I doubt anyone would ever imagined it would end up in the grimy hands of a slum rat. Once our discussion was done, I headed straight to the pub where the rest of the gang like to congregate. Wait, BB was the barmaid, yeah?
Jacopo? Should you really be on your feet so soon?
I'm fine, thanks.
I'm glad to hear it. And I'm sorry about what happened at the brothel.
Is the gang here?
What? Oh, yes, near the back.
Thank you.
Are you sure you're okay?
Look what the cat dragged in. He's talking about going to whip your sorry ass back into shape. You ain't still moping, are ya? I get it, kid, I do. It's bollocks. But you're a man. Instead of crying, you should be...
Gratian,
Yeah?
it's time we started ourselves a revolution. Are you just going to stare at me or actually say something? You're the ones always going on about revolution this, revolution that. Young man.
I think it's being called shock to silence.
Serious about this, Jacopo?
Might want to joke about this sort of thing.
No, you're not. You sure as hell aren't, are ya? Well, it's about damn time if I do say so myself. I knew you'd come around eventually. I knew you wouldn't stay sulky forever. Things will get way better once we rip that fucker's head off. Should cut down on the number of people turning to thievery. We'll never have to deal with anything like that. What would happen at the brothel again. Never again. You hear me?
Indeed.
What do you have in mind, Jacopo? Didn't you say we needed help from a noble to have a chance?
We can figure that out after we crush the Lord's skull.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best plan.
What's gotten into you all? You're always going on about how you want to stage a revolution. Now that we're actually talking about it, you're pussying out?
No one's pussing out, it's just...
We have a noble.
For real? Well, if you got it all worked out, why didn't you just say so? So who's our guy? Who's the noble who's agreed to give us a hand?
The former lord's illegitimate son.
His actual son? Really? That means he could legitimately inherit the lordship.
Whoa. How the hell you get into bed with the biggest fish in the city? If you're telling the truth, this is huge. That don't just give us a leg to stand on, this puts the damned law on our side. So hard it'd be to set up a meeting with the guy. This ain't some measly uprising. If we're going through with this, I'd like to see our royal sponsor for myself.
You're looking at him.
Say what?
I am the former lord's son.
No way, not a chance.
Seriously, kid. You need to find yourself a functioning sense of humor. That just ain't funny.
I'm telling the truth, and this ring proves it.
It's a nice ring and all, but how does it prove that you're a Barnier?
Where did you... How? This is the real deal. I was a slave at the Lord's Manor for a while. I've seen the family crest enough to recognize it.
As I said, not the kind of person to joke about this sort of thing.
What? So wait, you're really... Holy shit! I can't believe it! He's an actual noble! Oh wait, I think I read that wrong. Oh well. You always did seem a little not like the rest of us, Jacopo. More uptight.
Pretty sure I said the same when I first met you. And you looked like some rich aristocrat kid.
This is great, guys! We can actually do this! We can actually make this happen! Let's do it! Let's start a revolution! Yeah!
Yeah!
Creation.
Nah, nothing. Just surprised is all. Who'd freaking thought? You, a noble. Madness. How long have you known? And why didn't you tell me? Thought we were friends.
I only found out recently. I'm sorry for keeping it from you. It all happened very suddenly. I was waiting for the right time to say something.
No need to apologize, kid. You just put the wind back in our sails. Don't think I'm gonna start buttering up to you just because you're a bona fide stick-up-the-ass type now, though.
Of course not. Last thing I want to see is you licking my feet.
Alright, fellas. We've got ourselves a noble. So let's set the date and get this ball rolling.
Yeah!
Yeah.
What had once been nothing more than a pipe dream was, against all odds, soon to become a reality. Everyone wanted the Lord removed from power. They were angry and frustrated, and on several occasions had even seriously considered resorting to another revolt to make it happen. But no one had been able to turn those emotions into actions, because they all knew a revolt was destined to be squashed before it made any difference. That there was no hope to be found down this path. But an actual revolution, that was another story. Especially with someone poised to take the Lord's place on their side. They had a fighting chance, and they had no reason not to take it. As the fire in their eyes swelled to the blaze, mine seemed to sputter out, leaving behind a withered husk. I felt as though I was sitting in a theater, watching on as the story unfolded before me. No, it didn't quite capture how I felt. I wasn't even watching it with my own eyes, merely listening quietly as someone recounted for me their heroic deeds. The fact that I was an indispensable part of this operation still hadn't fully sunk in. All I knew was that I wasn't completely powerless anymore. But, while fiery passion and hope for the future filled Gratian and the rest of the gang, a dark, poisonous revulsion for God and fate streamed in to fill the hole left in me by the attack on the brothel. Preparations proceeded smoothly, with Generva providing insight, information, and guidance. And, as I had expected, there was a not insignificant number of nobles dissatisfied with the way that Barnier ruled. And they were constantly looking for a way to eradicate the cloud of pestilence hanging over the land. However, the Lord had eyes everywhere in the upper circles. He was especially mindful of who had associated with whom and how often. Any signs of opposition were swiftly dealt with, before they had a chance to pose any threat. The nobility needed an outsider, someone the Lord wasn't on the lookout for, to step in and assert power. Geneva arranged for several guards and attendants within the Lord's manor to betray him on the day of the revolution. They would open the doors for us from the inside. We would storm the manor. Structurally, the plan was similar to the slave revolt, the two major differences being my role, and the Lord's death being our primary goal. As the day drew nearer, it was all anyone in the slums seemed to be talking about. Though we did our best to encourage everyone to stay quiet, so as to not alert the Lord, it wasn't possible to keep the excitement contained. And it wasn't long before word reached Maria's ears. She approached me, pale as a ghost, and attempted to talk me out of it.
You had enough danger for one life. Come on, forget about this revolution stuff. We can build up a new world and just stay low for the rest of our days. That really sounds so bad. You're the only friend I've got left, Jacopo.
She was practically begging, but she almost never did. While I sympathized with her, Maria's desperation did nothing to try my resolve. And before long, the day was finally upon us. Hear me, my fellow citizens, who live in suffering at the hand of your supposed lord. Within me flows the blood of the previous lord. I am the rightful heir. Behold the Barnier's golden ring, proof that I am of noble birth. Victims of this terrible tyrant, the time has come to start anew, and I shall be the one to lead you down that path. The poor, the hungry, the deprived, all of you, stand with me! Before we commenced our strike on the Lord's Manor, I gave a little speech in the city square. Not because we actually needed to take up arms and fight with us, but because we needed to make a public proclamation of our position before overthrowing the Lord. You needed to know that we were not merely opponents of the Lord, but proponents of the common man. That we had a legitimate cause and a legitimate claim to power. If we were to leave them in the dark, it would only sow confusion and unrest when word of the Lord's death came out. They had to see us as their liberators, not a greater evil swooping in to squash a lesser one. The Lord had been squeezing everything he could out of them for years, sucking them dry. Didn't expect anyone to actually have the willpower to join us. The important thing is they knew who I was. But I underestimated them. A slow trickle of people stood to join us. By the time we were at the city's edge, we'd accumulated dozens of additional men, transforming our little uprising into something of a much greater scale. The people had been waiting, day in and day out, for someone to take up their banner and lead the way. It didn't matter that the one holding the banner did so under false pretense.
Intruders! We're under attack!
Oh, this is... Yeah! This is gunmen plural. Go nuts. Yeah! Get him!
Get him! ¡Viva la revolución!
With the added support, our forces rendered the manor's defenses practically useless. Townsfolk flooded the property, overwhelming even fully armored soldiers. Farmers then turned the tools of their trade into deadly weapons, plunging all manner of spiked implements into guards' necks. It didn't take long for the pungent stench of blood to fill the air. Panicked servants scrambled all away from the chaos as quickly as they could manage. As I made my way through the corridors to the great hall, where the Lord presumably waited, Gratian at my side.
We're here to relieve you of your head, Lord.
Have these savages removed from my property. Immediately!
Yes, my lord!
I guess I shouldn't be surprised defenses are heaviest here. Watch yourself, Gratian!
You can shove that concern right back where it came from, kid. I ain't about to let a bunch of mooks do me in. No number of these pansy little fuckers is enough to take me down.
Is there any situation capable of tampering that big mouth of yours? You can handle all the guards, then. I'll take care of the Lord.
You want to take the price off of yourself, fake kid? Normally I'd tell you to piss off. But I'll give you this one. It's what the people want besides.
Thank you for understanding.
But remember, if you screw this pooch, I'll make sure you're the laughingstock of the whole city.
Don't worry. I will come back with his head! The fact that Barnier was still here suggests that he knew that he had nowhere safer to flee to. Like the Slaverville 3 years prior, we were entirely on the offensive this time. He didn't appear particularly perturbed about his predicament, though. He likely had little doubt he would make it through the day safely. I knew Barnier was skilled with a sword, and despite all Gratian's talk, the guards he kept by his side were hardly going to be third-rate. They would be the best of the best. Praying Gratian would be able to hold them off long enough, I weaved my way through the wall of armed men. Marching straight for Lord Barnier, he slowly drew his sword, readying himself for combat.
Well, imagine that. It's you again. I'd assumed you died off in a hole somewhere.
I hate to disappoint you, but staying alive is one of my few talents.
How fitting for a filthy maggot.
Well, I hope you're ready. To be devoured by that very maggot!
Oh, shoot!
It would seem that your tongue has gotten rather sharp since we last met. Though I need to remind you how this played out 3 years ago, do I? Your blade will never get anywhere near my head. I will, however, give you a good reminder of precisely how feeble and worthless you slum rats are! Within me flows the blood of the royal family, direct descendants of God himself, while your blood is made from the refuse of the earth. We are no more the same species as a worm is a wolf! Your very being in my presence is a slight of the highest order!
I think you'll find our blood is much more similar than you think! When I take that ugly head off of your shoulders, we can both get a good look at how equally filthy your blood is to mine! I am not the boy I was 3 years ago. I'll drag you down from your throne on high and show you for the dregs of the earth you really are!
You dare insult me, cur!
We traded strikes, going on offense and defense in roughly equal parts. Barnier was quick on his feet and quicker with his blade. When I attacked, he swayed effortlessly out of its path, like a stalk of wheat in the wind. And when he attacked, it was like a typhoon. He had a prowess that could never be overcome with brute strength. However, I had not spent the last 3 years idle. While I could hardly imitate the refined swordsmanship of a trained nobleman, I had a much better grasp on how and when to most effectively put my weight into a swing, how to maintain the ideal amount of distance between us. And there was one other key difference. I had no intention of running. Either I would take off his head, or I would end up a bloody heap on the floor. There was no other way this battle could end.
Think about what you're doing, slumrat! About who you're pointing that blade at! An attack on me is an attack on God! It is an act of unspeakable sacrilege!
Ha! A little late to take the moral high ground! You that afraid of dying? Then put your tail between your legs and start running!
You insolent! I'm the rightful heir of the Barnier family! The blood of the kings of old flows in my vein! And I am the ultimate ruler of this land and my people! I would never condescend to turn my back to a worthless rat!
Well, don't say I didn't give you the choice! That just means we'll just keep on doing this until one of us is dead! Every swing, every step, every slight shift of balance had a little more weight than the last. But unlike last time, where the pressure had only served to light a fire under me, it was now building up inside me, growing, taking form. I can now perfectly trace the path of his blade dancing through the air. Back then, the only advantage I ever had over Barnier was physical strength and pluck. But things were very different now. He was agile, but I could keep up with him. No. I was beginning to overtake him. Ha! Allow me to borrow your words, if you would. Perhaps you should save this snide yapping for when you have the skill to back it up.
Don't get cocky, you an insignificant rat! You treacherous cur!
The Lord swung down at me with all his strength, but I managed to parry the strike with little trouble. In that moment I had undeniable power. Power. That's right. I wasn't powerless. And I could never let myself be powerless again! Ever! And if I couldn't manage that, then I deserved to rot here as the weak, worthless man I was. I had the chance, here and now, to take out not only the Lord, but the me of old as well. The helpless, impotent boy who couldn't even protect the ones he loved. That's exactly what I'll do. I'll show you that I'm not who I used to be. That I'm the sniving little boy from 3 years ago! Before long, Barnier was coming up against the far wall.
You impudent worm!
We were both breathing hard, dripping with sweat. The air seemed to waver like there was a fire burning between us. A fire fueled by our own souls. And that heat extended to the entire hall, in staunch defiance of the cold winter sitting beyond the walls. Perhaps the room had transformed into one of the halls of hell itself. Where's your god now, huh? It's time to end this. Your time on this earth has come to an end! Barnier! I readjusted my grip on my sword, repositioned my feet on the hard floor, lining everything up for my final strike, and then threw a little extra fuel on the fire, before breaking into a dash! However...
Wait!
Huh? What? The last person I expected to see stood there between me and the Lord, bringing me to an emergency stop just moments before I would have taken off his head. Jaren! Because I'd been running at full speed, I staggered, almost tripping before catching my blade. She reached out, placing her hand on my shoulder, pleading at me with eyes that color of early spring leaves. I could see myself aghast, reflected in those eyes. I shouldn't have stopped. I shouldn't have hesitated. For any reason. I should have knocked Jaren to the side and taken off Barnier's head. But a torrent of questions rained down on me, entangling me from head to toe like a spider's web. Why? How? What was Jaren doing here? Why did she ask me to stop? Why was she standing between me and Barnier? No. The answer hit me like a bolt of lightning. Only 4 people had survived the raid on the brothel, but we prepared a safe room underground in case of emergency, and the stairs down were hidden beneath the floorboards. Yet, Maria had said they were found quickly and most of the girls taken captive. You didn't. The attack had been well organized and at a large scale. Could the aroma of the herbs, which was strong enough to be smelled outside, have been some kind of signal? How could you? How could you betray us? What came out of my mouth was not words, though, but a pained, visceral wail. Ah! But overpowering everything else I felt was paralyzing shock. The blade sticking out of Jaren's chest pierced my breast. Our blood flowed down opposite ends of the silver edge, melding into a single stream. I had completely lost any sense of what was happening, dealing with crushing bewilderment. Barney let out a bellowing laugh from behind Jaren. The sound resonated through the blade in his hand. I could literally feel him mocking me from inside my body. Why? How could you do that, Jaren? No. How could you, Barnier? Jaren had double-crossed us. As I didn't want to believe it, I no longer had much of a choice. She had claimed she thought of us like family, when in reality she was colluding with the Lord. She was the one who had brought ruin upon the brothel! I couldn't reconcile what I saw with what I thought I knew! I couldn't forgive that kind of betrayal! And I couldn't even begin to comprehend Barnier's actions! How could you hide behind her when she stood up for you? How could you so readily cast her aside? She saved your life! How could you do this to her? What are you laughing at?
Look at the girl. Look at her face.
What? Why was Jaren... How could she possibly smile about any of this? What was going on through her mind? Had she gone mad? I'd never seen her like... Wait. Yes, I had. I knew that smile. All too well. When the realization struck, an almost painful chill crawled up my spine. Jaren was always smiling. She could break the ice with anyone in no time. She brought laughter wherever she went. She was endlessly cheerful and sincere to a fault. Flashes of our time together rushed through my mind. She was...
Presumably, you were thinking the girl's gone mad. But that isn't quite right. No. She's been mad all along. Could anyone in their right mind keep smiling after seeing their parents murdered and being sold off? Could anyone in their right mind genuinely believe they don't have a sorrow in the world? Could anyone in their right mind be smiling with a sword sticking out of their chest?
I can't.
The girl's immalleable mirth is but a different shade of madness. If she weren't mad, she wouldn't be smiling. Jaren lacks the capacity to comprehend negative emotions.
That can't be. She's compassionate and pathetic. There's no way she doesn't understand those emotions.
It's called good old-fashioned hard work. She pretends to show compassion, despite the fact that others' pain is incomprehensible to her. No. Wait.
No. I refuse.
You can't tell me there haven't been moments where you've seen the seams interact.
In one of our conversations, I had asked Jaren, have I never felt like you got the short end of the stick? To which she had responded, I don't even know what the stick looks like. Never mind which end is the short one. While I'd assumed she'd either moved on or her threshold for happiness was on the low side, the scale she waited on was outright broken.
To tell you the truth, I'm rather fond of the girl. After all, I am a madman myself!
I wanted to shut out his words. Talked like it was all crazy blather, like I didn't see any truth in it! But all the proof I needed was staring right at me. Jaren was smiling as bright and as genuine as ever. The same smile she always showed us. As blood streamed on the blade in my chest, and still I couldn't believe it. Still I couldn't accept that she had chosen this man over us. You said you'd thought of us like family, Jaren. What happened to that? What happened to all our time together? You would throw it all away for him?
Jackie, remember what I said?
Excuse me?
That I had my eye on someone.
And?
I love you, Jackie, and everyone else at the brothel. But there's someone I love even more. You know, I'm not the cleverest girl. I can only see what's right in front of me.
How impossibly idiotic could I be? She never had an eye for me. Her heart had always belonged to Barnier. I was being presumptuous when I assumed that she was talking about me at the festival. Why him, though? Why this man, of all people? I about fell to my knees. But I managed to hold my balance long enough to stagger back. But Barnier's blade slipped from my chest. The blood it had been holding and seemed to rush out all at once. And with it went everything I was feeling.
Some revolutionist turned out to be rats! As a parting gift, I'll let you in on a little something. The girl was my pawn from the very beginning, an informant sent to keep me apprised of anything that might spark opposition. If someone's amassing wealth illegitimately, I have them killed or forced to surrender all their assets to me. If someone says something disagreeable about me, then I have them hanged. That scheming wench, Ginevra, was it? Is probably at the bottom of a river by now. But, it would seem that I failed to keep everything under control, seeing as you're still breathing and dragging a pack of mindless peasants around you. That's only a minor inconvenience, though. All I have to do is take off your head. And then without their leader, they'll regress back to the ignorant swine they are. Now, it's time we put this ludicrous revolution to a rest!
Mynheer shifted backwards slightly, making to pull the sword from Jaren's chest. She moaned, sent a mixture of agony and ecstasy. I thought I could hear the flesh ripping as the blade passed through it. I should have been readying myself to fight again, to brandish my sword and take this bastard's head, but I couldn't move an inch. Everything seemed to grow distant. My spirit was on the verge of collapse. The fire that had blazed within me had been snuffed out in an instant. Countless memories crumbled before my eyes. The word death flashed through my mind, but it brought with it no fear, only vast hopelessness.
Don't you?
But as last of my will threatened to slip from my grasp, I heard a voice.
Remember what I said?
What?
That I want to be together with you forever.
What do you think you're doing? Let go of the sword, Sharon!
Lucidity came rushing back to me, and a split second later I understood what she meant, what she wanted. I didn't give myself a chance to consider where that road might lead. If I wanted to walk down it, it would come to if I would come to regret this decision, or if it was the right thing to do. There was no time to think, only act. I couldn't let this opportunity go. So I shut everything out. My mind, my looming consciousness, my sense of right and wrong, my heart. I shoved aside every possible distraction, rekindled the near extinguished flame of my rage, let out a visceral howl. And swung. I could feel the impact in my arms as the blade tore through flesh and bone. Jaren's lifeless body drooped to the floor with a thud. And the tip of my blade ripped a gash in Barnier's throat. A geyser of blood erupted from his neck. He bent over, writhing in agony, and staggered back a few steps before his legs gave out and he dropped to his knees. His eyes were open wider than I thought possible, and he brought both hands up to his throat to stem the flow of blood. But it did little to help, the crimson seam seeping through the gaps in his fingers. With each beat of his heart, the flow surged, sending up sprays of lifeblood.
Impossible.
I was right. Noble blood and peasant blood all looked the same. Grunting and groaning, Barnier pawed at the floor, evidently still convinced he could scamper off and escape somehow. He left behind a trail of blood as he crawled. It was by all rights over. However, there was still one last thing to take care of. I marched over to the Lord and placed my foot in his back, slamming him down to the ground. I'm not leaving without your head. I owe it to Jaren to reunite you.
Wait. If you kill me, and everything counts, I'll surely intervene. Before you even realize what's happening, but without a sword, and I'll spare you.
You'll spare me? You're in no position to be sparing anyone. You're either a fool or a hopeless optimist. You're not a lord anymore. You have no power. You're just a sick worm. And the counts, they won't be an issue. I'll be taking over for you after all.
So, how are you finding to do that? You're a peasant.
Ginevra entrusted me with a ring that bears the Barnier family crest. I'll use that to make myself out to be the successor to the royal family.
And what will you do once you fake your nobility? You have no experience, not the faintest idea how to be a lord.
I'm sure I'll govern better than you ever did.
Mind. A peasant like you could have governed an empty plot of land.
Not that being a noble makes one any more qualified. And you've more than clearly demonstrated. I'll take your seat, and then I'll take the world.
Ludicrous. Think very hard about this, boy. Killing me would be a mistake you could never fix. Put down the sword.
Does death frighten you so much that you would deign to beg for your life, Lord? Like I said before we began, though, the only way this ends is with one of us dead! I pressed my sword against Barnier's nape, then leaned into it hard. The blade sank into his flesh, the gash spreading in like a crack of glass. Screams of agony echoed through the hall. All the blood in his body seemed to be trying to escape through the gaping hole, creating an ever-growing pool of red around us.
Before long, you will be driven madness.
Excuse me?
By the time you figured it out, what it means to be a lord, you won't be the kind-hearted friend of the people anymore. Living this life, having no one to trust, you'll lead away, and then you'll...
Enough.
You'll be your own executioner!
Enough!
I'll be waiting for you. Down in hell.
Holy shit!
Here! Every guard and every rebel! I have here the Lord's head, taken by my own hands! You have no reason to fight any longer! Put down your arms, all of you, and cease this meaningless battle! Our revolution has come to pass! Less than a day's time, the Lord's manor had fallen. By the time it was all over, it felt almost underwhelming how completely and utterly we had conquered them. Men cheered and shouted in celebration. Others borrowed suits of armor and pretended to be knights. A fire of different colors filled the manor's walls. They believed that, with the Lord's death, everything would suddenly be better for everyone. That nobody would have to suffer anymore. That they would all be happy and live perfectly fulfilling lives. They had no logical reason to believe as such. Yet no one seemed to doubt it in the slightest. Everyone seemed to have forgotten that enacting change required work, and there still was much of that to be done. The entire rest of the day the men partied and celebrated, paying no heed to the corpses strewn about the property. Even the injured joined in. Nothing can stand in the way of their merrymaking. They raised goblets to my great accomplishments, and I smiled along, though their fiery passion could not penetrate the cold bubble that had formed around me. The only real fervor I felt all day was while I crossed swords with Barnier. Now my head was surprisingly clear. Perhaps clear wasn't quite right. It was stagnant. I felt as though I was suspended in a dark sludge. Barnier's dying words hovered around me. By the time I figured out what it meant to be a lord, I wouldn't be the kind-hearted friend of the people anymore, he had said. That I would have no one to trust. That it would eat away at me, drive me mad, and that I would be my own executioner. Again and again I tried to tell myself I wasn't him, that I wouldn't end up like him. But his voice, his curse, refused to leave me. Images of his decapitated head flashed through my mind. I couldn't shake the feeling that one day that would eventually be my head.
Well, there you are, kid. Been wondering where you ran off to.
Oh, Gratian.
Goes it. That sure ain't the face of a man who just pulled off a goddamn revolution. Your wound hurting? I've got something that can make the pain go away if you want some. Ah, there we go. Here she is. Take one of these leaves and grind it up at the back of your mouth. You should start tingling right at the back of your head in no time. All the pain's gone, like it was never there. Some pretty great shit. If you don't mind getting a little loopy for a bit anyway. But after all that, isn't like you're gonna need to think straight for a while. So, what do you say? Take a few?
I think I'll pass. It does hurt, but I can handle it.
And why the long face? You're a hero now. People are gonna be looking up to you. That ain't a great look. Hmm? With the big rock. I don't remember seeing this here before.
Please don't touch it. It's Jaren's gravestone.
Ah. So that's what's got you down in the dumps, huh? I mean, get it. I sure as hell didn't see that one coming either. Talk about a shocker. Sweet little thing like her in bed with the Lord. Women can be fucking scary creatures at times. I don't even want to think about the kind of shit she was scheming while she got all chummy with us.
There was no mask, no facade, and no scheming. She was always just being herself.
You out of your mind, kid? She played us for months. Not the tiniest hint. If ain't a facade, I don't know what is.
She never believed herself to be lying to us. Assuming Jaren genuinely didn't grasp the concept of sadness or fear, that she was incapable of experiencing negative emotions. Then it does kind of add up. She loved the Lord, while also enjoying her time with us. To her, they weren't mutually exclusive. To her, feeling both was not wrong.
Well, looks like you're a lot better at arithmetic than me. That don't come close to adding up in my head. Or maybe you just don't want to accept that it was all a big fat lie.
Perhaps. I'm not Jaren. I don't know what she had with the Lord, so all I can do is speculate. And perhaps I do merely want to believe that she was part of the family. Gratian, can I ask you to keep this from Maria and the other girls?
You sure?
Regardless of what Jaren's actual feelings were, I don't see any reason to sully their memory of her.
Fair enough, I guess. Not like the dead can make their own case. So, at least we can do for the ones we left behind is not taint their memory.
Thank you.
Unless someone knows how to bring them back, that is.
Indeed.
You sure everything's good, kid?
What are you so concerned about?
I mean, this is yours now. When we leave, you'll be staying here.
Hmm.
I just want to make sure you're really up for it. If you want, I could take your place.
Pardon?
If you think being in charge will be too much to handle, I'll gladly take it off your shoulders. Yeah, we both know I'm more of a fighter than you. I could have taken Barnier out with him getting so much a scratch on me. What do you say? I'll do it.
Don't be stupid. The whole city would be savages by year's end if you were in charge.
Hey, just offering you a way out, kid.
It's my burden to bear, and I have no intention of passing it off. I'll have myself back in order by tomorrow.
Well, if you say so. Don't forget, you're in this for the long haul.
Don't worry. I can handle it.
So do you have any specific plans moving forward? The woman you were conspiring with, Genevieve, was it? They offed her, didn't they?
She was hardly the only noble hoping to see Barnier overthrown. I'll have to start by building up a solid foundation of supporters among the nobility.
Do we really need the dick squad on our side, though? Why don't we just cut ourselves off from all that crap and start our own country? Place just for us. No royalty or nobility to rob us blind. Our city.
That would be ideal, but unfortunately, it isn't quite so simple. The Chancellor without the Lord took over the city and built a big wall around the borders. Without a clear legitimate transfer of power, the neighboring counts will undoubtedly intervene.
So we fight back. What's the problem?
My little band of peasants was only able to take them the Lord because we had the element of surprise. But what happens when a trained, organized army marches on our borders? Don't need me to answer that for you.
This world's kind of a massive bitch, huh? But it's a hell of a lot better than having old Barnier in power, I guess. You'll change things for the better, though, won't you?
You have my word.
Great. So, Kopo. I know we'll be parting ways here soon and all. I want you to know, I'll never forget this day. We crashed the gates of hell together and made the devil our bitch. It don't matter how far apart we are. Nothing will change what we've been through. So let's make this city into the best goddamn city around. You from the top, me from the bottom.
Yes. Let's. It's a great comfort to know that I have you down there. I have a good deal of trust in you.
I won't disappoint you, kid. And don't you ever hesitate to give me a shout if you need something. When we first met, I kinda wanted to throw you off a cliff. And you still rub me the wrong way sometimes. But I also consider you one hell of a partner. And I mean that.
Wow, Discord picked a hell of a time to just shit the fucking bed. Give it a second, please.
Yeah, before it was too late.
I love Discord on my
Orange
computer
going.
specifically.
Orange is just going back in time to kill Jiren to make sure FATA didn't happen.
All right, let's get back on track. We're
We're
almost done.
Yeah. Hello?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Littering and...
Brothers in arms.
Gratian.
Brothers in arms.
He's talking.
Brothers in
He
arms.
said it.
Wait,
Brothers in arms.
I can't
He said
fucking.
it.
I can't hear. I can't hear him.
Speaking right now.
I
What?
say it like 4 times.
Speaking right now.
Brothers in arms.
Oh my.
Wait. Sim, try talking right now. Did you hear that?
I cannot hear Sim at
Do you
all.
see him?
Oh no!
Is he muted on your end?
Let me fucking turn off Discord and turn it back on again. I love Discord. I love it so fucking much. I love Discord so fucking much. Ah! This is an efficient method. This is an efficient method of voice acting visual novels too.
And eating the dope weed.
To improvise
now?
Can you
Yes,
hear
I can hear you now, Sim. I can hear you.
Okay.
Brothers in arms.
Risk our lives for each other. Brothers in arms.
Brothers in arms.
Brothers in arms.
Thank you. I too consider you a good comrade.
A good brothers in arms.
You and the rest of the gang.
Aha! I was beginning to think you'd never come out and say it. Now remember, kid. Don't let us down with this, or you'll be hanging from or be hearing from us, capiche? I know you can do it.
I won't let you down. It'll all go fine. I have allies. Friends I can count on. With their help, I can change things for the better. I can. Believe in myself. I can do this. I have no reason to think otherwise. This fluttering in my stomach. It's nothing to be concerned about. When that fated night came to an end, the vast bright blue sky of morning greeted me. I looked up at the sky, standing in the manor that still reeked of blood, and Morgana filled my thoughts. If she were here now, what would she say to me? Congratulations? It was so unlikely to let a little laugh. She would undoubtedly criticize me for seizing power through such violent means. Her lips would twist into a scowl, and she would damn me to hell for the 1000th time. She would tell me what I had done with it was extremely foolish. But perhaps she would also express some concern about my injuries. That was all my own imagination, though. She would never be at my side again. We would never look up at the same sky again. I would never hear her sing again. My old life was gone. A relic of the past. It would never be the same again. Not without the girl I loved being a part of it. There we go, we did it!
Brothers in arms.
Part 1 done! Noir,
Yeah.
congratulations, you get your character back now.
Oh, yay.
Goody.
Interludes.
Right.
I hope you enjoy having the funny pedophile back.
Yeah, I love the funny pedophile.
Anyways, it's time
What a
for an
silly-
interlude next time.
What a quirky guy.
I wonder what that will be about.
I'm gonna be a
Outlaw.
cowboy, babe.
Man,
Anyways,
We're gonna go in.
you know, I really feel like Mr. Jacopo is my
ass.
is my favorite no map. I so love Jacopo.
I'd like to think that the last hour and a half makes up for the Apple tirade earlier on in the stream.
We were just
yeah,
posting entire gifs of apples throughout that.
You missed stuff.
We did get to see Barnier get stabbed to death, so...
Man, Saren is horrible.
I was acting my
Jaren.
little fucking heart out.
Is
goddamn.
she? Is Jaren that bad?
Jaren's just a
I
little
mean,
bit
does
different.
Many people died because of her.
She does bad
Does
things,
Jaren
but
know
it's not
better?
really her fault.
Yeah.
She's just a
She
little
doesn't
bit
know-
silly.
She doesn't understand.
I think she understands. I think she doesn't care.
Well,
Okay.
no, she
I
doesn't
genuinely think she doesn't
understand.
Yeah, she doesn't get it.
She doesn't get it.
She,
yeah.
do- she does not have nor understand negative emotions of any sort.
Doggy Gamble, bang bang.
But why does she like? Why is she down with Barnier
So
again?
many people died.
Why is she down with Barnier again?
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. For the record, she's not a psychopath. She's a sociopath. That's the most important thing to get out of the way. She doesn't understand basic human emotions, unfortunately.
And it led to so many deaths.
Yes, and
You know, I'd say the real answer is probably just like Jaren's parents were killed, and then she was just sold to Barnier.
Okay, but like, why is she down with Barnier?
Because she's crazy and kooky
No,
and quirky.
She talked as if there was about to be like a reveal of
No, wait, they did reveal that because she loves him.
Yeah, she
Alright, I'm back.
she just loves
Well,
him.
no, they were. It seemed like she was about to say why, and then they didn't.
Hold B.
Alright, so it sounds like we might get an answer, but until then, she's just a quirky,
I don't know,
kooky
Big
little
Man Chest be tired.
sociopath.
Let's go through this in order from top to bottom.
Alright, my brother's in arms, AC.
You are free to dip out.
AC?
AC?
Brother in arms?
Are you okay, AC?
Is he?
Are you okay?
Oh no!
Your shit's
Oh
getting
no,
fucked
he's
up again.
Brothers in arms?
Uh-oh.
Brothers in arms?
Regardless.
No.
Am I here?
Oh, I hear you.
You're good.
You are incredibly small and quiet.
Oh, God.
Wait, I can hear you. I can
We
hear
are
you.
super quiet.
All right.
On with
can
yours.
hear you.
How about now?
You sound good.
That's
A
better.
little
All
louder.
right. Do I know what my solution was? I dangled the cord connected to it, like left or right.
Mm-hmm.
And that fixed
That
it.
means your card is dying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm well aware. But yeah. Very interesting. So the only nitpick was Barnier had a lot of talk for someone who had, according to the story itself, confirmed to have a slit throat. And
Into the flesh wound.
and I tried to work with that as best I could. I was probably a little too gargly. But
No, you did good, dude. You did good.
thank you very much. But yeah, me with the time machine aiming the red dot sight at Jaren. Yeah. If they had somehow found her out, FATA wouldn't have happened. But yeah, a lot happened. All I really have to say at the moment, well, my final thing is I have 3 theories on Gratian, what's gonna happen to him. Theory 1, he's going to be dissatisfied with Jacopo's rulership and just kind of walk out. Theory 2 is that he dies. Now, how does he die? I'm quite unsure. There might be a wild ass theory, and the crackhead theory says, oh, maybe Yukimasa takes him out for some reason. I don't know. But that's even I'm calling that wild. Like, I'm
Maybe
not
both.
betting money on it. Or yeah, maybe both. Maybe he's dissatisfied and he goes to leave and he gets slaughtered by Yukimasa. But yeah, that's my theory. That's everything I have to say. Brothers in arms.
Brothers in arms.
I'm so glad
Brothers in arms.
that Jacopo finally came out and called Gratian his brother in arms. It takes a lot of guts to come out and
That
call somebody
sure
your
was
brother in arms,
emotional.
you know.
Oh my god.
Arms.
Like I'm
I
just
really want him-
saying, if Jacopo was a little bit gayer, things might be better.
I really want one of those yaoi gifts that's like, hey, do you want to play Smash Brothers? But it's just them calling my brother in arms.
I thought that was just no bromo.
No.
Good lord, brother in arms, bone go.
All right. What was do we know the drug that he was jumping on?
The what now?
The drug,
no.
the thing about the
Drugs.
leaves.
The thing he's mentioned, like mess with
It's
eat some
oregano.
dreams. Yeah, what was that? Okay, what
We
type of
don't.
oregano?
I don't think the funny drug matters.
Oh dang, I was really interested. I think it's cool. Anyway,
Yeah, it's
maybe
basil.
Yeah, it was basil.
This is fucking
I don't know, man. There was some cool shit, I guess.
Well, he's
I think
Italian.
that whenever Charon's like big twist happened, I didn't really feel it. Really, I for some reason she just didn't really hit me that much. Maybe it's just because she seemed like weirdly positive, like unrealistically positive about everything.
Really?
And maybe that was why it didn't hit me or something. I don't know. That's just a guess. I just didn't really feel that twist that much.
Really? Like, honestly, when I got to that part, the fucking, like, that was the wildest shit that I'd ever experienced.
Remember, Justin, I had just seen a bunch of funny Apple gifs in the chat. This is not the ideal
That should
scenario.
not hamper your experience for the
that
house
can't-
in Fata Morgana.
I can't control my emotions in such a way that I can separate that stuff.
For me, it was less of I don't know. I feel like oh shit, you know, I can kind of see it. Was my reaction to it.
There's also just a lot of like talk that kind of goes on in Shut Up Phone that is not good for my ADHD, and so I zone out during a lot of the conversation. It's hard to really like focus whenever I am not whenever I am not the one turning the page.
This is not an optimal way to experience VNs.
It's fun.
I
It's
said
fun,
fun because
though.
they said there were gonna be a bunch of guy voices coming up.
But that said,
it was bound to happen eventually because we knew this happened.
That said, also, I probably wouldn't read this VN either way, so this is the only experience I was gonna ever have about it. But it's so fun. I still enjoyed it. I thought that part was fun. The big fight was fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good enjoyment of that. My brother in arms, Joshi.
Aw,
I have some opinions.
Alright.
Great.
Good night,
Night.
Good night, B.
Have a good evening.
Good night, my
Night.
brister in arms.
What?
Man, I don't know. Like, oh, what the fuck happened? I can't hear anyone.
Huh?
Oh no!
With his in arms.
Did
Brothers
what?
in arms.
Everyone's been playing. What the
Brothers in
fuck
arms.
happened?
Oh no!
Oh no, sorry. What the fuck?
Why is Discord just shitting for all of us tonight?
Not for me.
I mean, like for me, that was like my physical hardware. I don't think Discord had anything to do with that.
Okay, hold on. No, I'm still audible, but for some reason, just. Okay, that's fucking weird. Anyways, man, like.
Wait, so he can't hear me right now?
I can hear you right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So he
good.
can hear.
Shit was being dumb. Oh, hi, B.
Oh, be back.
Oh, B's
Hey.
back? Alright, cool.
I guess
If you-
I have to listen to y'all to discuss anything in
B,
the
if you
shadow
wanna
government.
if you wanna just like deafen for like 5 minutes, so you can just vent to me about what you're feeling once we're done.
I don't know. Nothing in this particular section of FATA is really hitting me. And I think the massive problem is that I just don't know, like, maybe I would have, maybe should have read it on there, but maybe I should, maybe it still wouldn't have hit me. I don't know. Maybe I have some problems with like some stuff. I feel like some things don't hit me, and I'm an individual that can relatively, like the whole apples discussion, I can separate from like the tone of the story. It didn't ruin anything for me personally. I understand Bones' point of view, but for me personally, speaking as an individual, it doesn't bother me. It feels
Why did you whisper that,
Hold on,
and
can you,
how so?
It's a secret.
Okay.
Can you like can you hear us, Joshi?
Yes, I can hear you all. My PC's just being a bitch right now.
I just want to say I understand like the intrinsic issue of it's a prequel, so you already know what's going to happen. But I think it's just
Yeah.
like if you can like just kind of like let yourself kind of get lost in it, and like there was a good chunk of spectacle here, which was pretty good. But I guess you also kind of have to set aside the fact that it's like you know what's going to happen, and you can kind of see this kind of coming. And I think it's like that kind of like detracts from it a little bit, because you know that like in the quote-unquote grand scheme of things, it doesn't necessarily matter all that much. But I think that like, you know, extra context can be important, and it can be I guess valuable depending on, you know, the quality of it, which is cool.
I mean, we did.
I think that, like, here's the thing, right? It's not so much that I know what's going to happen, because I can enjoy relative stories when I know what's probably going to happen in the end. Like, fucking, for instance, take any Yakuza game where they're like, "Oh, is Kiryu going to die?" And I go, "I'm not even at 6. What the fuck you think?"
I mean, also, we didn't know what was gonna happen to Jiren.
Like, yeah, it's not so much like I'm worried about Fata, or not Fata, sorry, that's not a character. Morgana and fucking, yeah, my favorite character, Fata. Anyways, or like Jacopo. I know they're going to make it to the end of the story. However, that, well, I mean, relatively speaking, you know what I mean? But like,
my favorite character is the house.
But it's just like, unlike with Yakuza or other stories, I'm just using Yakuza because it's a game series that I'm actually frequently playing right now, in the background. Not in the background, but like recently. It's just like, I don't feel anything for like.
Sorry, go ahead.
Not. I don't feel, because I did like what was it, Saren? Yeah.
Jaren.
Sorry, it was really hard for me to say her name when watching it.
Jaren.
I liked her. I feel a little burned on the twist because I feel like it's a bit meh, but that's just personally me. I don't know.
Yeah. Are you saying you didn't feel that intrigue in Karen's death?
It was, well, I did. I was initially like, oh, this is interesting. And then the reveal that, like, oh, she's actually super fucking crazy and in love with him. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of the same feeling.
I kind of feel like it's like, oh, well, I get it. This is the world where fucked up shit happens. But, like, man, oh, it kind of rubs me a bit wrong. Not wrong, but it's just, not my taste.
Wait, so Josh, I'm curious. Like, did you mean you didn't like it? You didn't feel anything about it, or something else?
I didn't like it, not because it was like, oh, but I liked her. It was like, I kinda.
Did you wish there was more depth from what
I
we
wish
have seen
there
so
was
far?
a little bit more, like Rindy wants as well, and maybe we'll get it. So I will hold out until the story ends to fully judge that part.
Because, like, obviously this is going to go for a pretty good chunk of some things that you probably already will have known going forward. But this interlude and some other stuff will be explained to a degree, and I think that's important too. Now, obviously, this might not. There's a good chance this won't appease everyone, which is really unfortunate and like the natural part of a prequel story. But you know, we might get there.
And again, this is I want to preface this. I have no issues with like prequel stories at all. Like atypically, like even if I know what the fuck's going to happen, like again, I hate using one example over and over again, but it's just because it sticks out recently in my mind, is the Yakuza series, where I know some pretty big spoilers, and I won't say them because I'm not an idiot.
Thank you.
So like. Some twists are like, yeah, I wonder why, or I'm not shocked at all, or there's no tense in them, but like I'm still able to at least enjoy them. With in other prequels as well, I'm able to enjoy them as well. There's something here that I can't put my finger on that's just not hitting. And maybe I will also acknowledge that I am experiencing a bit of visual novel burnout, which is why I haven't been coming here recently. So maybe that might be coloring a bit of my like view on Fata, and maybe unfairly for it as well. but
Okay.
that's just kind of personally how I feel. Sorry to hog an insane amount of time. Go ahead, Con. My sister in arms.
Kaneko in arms.
Okay. And it's alright, Joshy. Sometimes you just need to take a little bit of extra time to go ahead and just talk about that. And as for me, though, I didn't see the twist coming at all. I thought it was strange that Jaren, after suffering all of that, was still something of a Stepford Smiler, but I just thought that she was like a Anna Green Gables? Gables? Is it Gables?
Gables.
Gables. It's Gables? Okay, thank you. Where she was just trying to continuously see the good in everything, and she was super on the line to break. But after with Barnier, in the moment where he stabs her, then everything just kind of made sense. I mean, how else can you go out with all of that and just keep smiling when you can't even understand anything negative in the first place?
God, I wish that were me.
Yeah, God, I wish that was me.
Mm-hmm.
Being stabbed by yours. I'm not even gonna attempt to do the voice.
Alright, Rendy, you got anything to say?
Wait, was there
Oh,
more?
wait, you got more? You got more?
Yeah.
You got more?
Yeah, the other thing I was going to say was the entire uprising and everything, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
At least very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to read Young Man's manifesto. The manifesto of Young Man.
Young man.
Okay.
The only other...
Wait,
Sorry.
hold on, she's still going.
The only other thing I have to say, though, is... hold on, I had it. Come back to me, Thought Boomerang.
You can always put it on hold until later.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, there it is again. The only other thing I want to say is that this has actually been one of the cooler visual novels that I've read over the past while with you guys.
Huh. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
at least in a long while, and I'm putting this on the same scale as Umineko, by the way.
Yeah, Umineko adjacent.
Woo!
Okay.
And despite the twist with Jaren, I do still love her.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I do like Jeremy.
I think Rindy's in the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't think she's back yet.
Alright, brother in arms, Sim.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind the twist. I feel like there's enough build up to it. But like, it makes sense when they explain it. I'm like, that's fine.
Wait, does it make sense? Oh, I guess it's just if she's crazy.
Yeah, where they're like,
I mean, oh, sorry, I'm gonna shut up now.
I mean, where they're like, this is how she is, and then Jacopo has a bunch of flashbacks. You're like, oh yeah, that is weird. She's kind of off sometimes. Or like when Morgana was like fucking screaming at her, and she was like genuinely not getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can come off as her being like a confused friend, but it's still kind of weird that she has no reaction at all.
If I may say something minor for that, hindsight
Sure.
is always 20/20.
Yeah, but looking back, it's still a bit fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think part of the like the weird thing is like it's just hard to get invested in Jacopo's character arc because we already got like the climax of it. Like we're getting set up for a climax that already happened. But it is neat to see how it goes from point A to B. I think, regardless of that.
Okay. You good?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Noir. Professional hater. Noir and brother in arms. Noir Iblis.
Brothers in arms.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers in arms.
Well, you know what they say, love is blind.
Okay.
I was upset, confused, and thrown off not because of this Jiren twist. I'm upset that they did not give us an ample amount of flashbacks to remind us about this twist in the moment, like they do almost every other time in the house in Fata Morgana.
That's fair.
Like they didn't want to go back and be like, don't you remember all these times? The times when Jiren was really happy?
Well, yeah,
Or-
I did actually think about that.
Especially when she literally says, "Hey, remember what I told you? Remember
Yeah.
what I said all that time ago?"
I was
They
thinking about
probably-
like they
Oh, go
could have
ahead.
cut back to it because it's not actually a flashback of any character in the scene. But she was like very weird when she was talking to Morgana when she had her breakdown.
Yeah.
It did seem very unnatural.
We needed the
Yeah.
Jiren betrayal sizzle reel.
They probably didn't want to do that. They probably don't want to break up the action scene too much because of the nature of it. I'd imagine that's why.
They did all those flashy CGs and everything. Like, it was real funky, so that would be weird.
Put some work into this.
Barnier pretty much said, "Leave Jiren to me." I don't remember if Ginevra actually came back in this story at all. I thought she just
No, she's
died
dead.
at some point off panel.
She's literally dead.
Off screen, yeah.
I think the
She
wards may
certainly is
kill
dead
her.
somewhere.
She doesn't matter. She's not
What if it
important.
was Yuki Masa?
Portrait.
Easily replaceable character.
I also think that there's probably going to be some kind of philosophical, makes it sound a lot of a high-minded way of saying him and Gratian are going to have some kind of long-term falling out, because we know that Jacopo is indeed going to be both horribly corrupted by the evils that he does to get ahead and attain power, and also start drinking human blood, I guess, again.
Does he drink it
Again?
himself?
No, yeah, no.
Well,
I don't
just
think
like
he ever
Barnier.
did.
I mean,
He did not.
he's certainly stealing human blood.
He's not gonna do it again, but he is gonna start.
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think he ever drank blood in his thing.
I think he did more of a like.
Well, no, he was
My
imbibing.
point is that he is stealing human blood, just
Yeah.
like Barnier was stealing human blood.
So didn't he die of horrible blood-based diseases with everyone
no, he died
else?
from the revolution.
Yeah, he got stabbed.
Oh right, yeah.
Bonus karmic justice, or I guess dramatic
Literally
irony.
karmic justice.
Wait, so I didn't get a clear answer on this. Did Jacopo drink blood at all?
He didn't drink it, but he stole it.
No.
Okay.
He sure did love stealing it.
For money.
You see, it's like poetry, it rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
It's same material, different thing.
Do you have anything else for us, Noir?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also keep forgetting that I keep on forgetting that that character list sure did have like 3 to 4 other people that are probably going to show up at some point. I remember there being an old guy with a hat in there somewhere. Possibly a hood, I don't remember.
So really quickly,
He was one of Barnier's guys.
Mm-hmm. Really quickly, Rindy did come back. Rindy, do you have any
yes.
thoughts for us?
It's not like I feel like this is the second time where a major plot point was driven by, oh, the person was just delirious or unwell mentally because it's kind of bothering me. Like Joshy.
If you talk about Morgana, I swear to
I'm just saying it's the second time that happened.
This is not the same
one of those
situation
moments,
as
one of them
to
I'll
me,
give you a side
She had
on.
her arm cut off.
When has that ever happened except for
why
that
is-
one
She had her
time?
arm cut off.
Why is her being basically unconscious not a good enough excuse for not
Because
recognizing
that's
the
not
Lord?
because that's not how it works. It's not even not
Randy, I
recognizing.
have thought a gas station was my own house from sleep deprivation hallucination.
From sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation is a constant state. It's not like
let's
in shock from getting your arm cut off. That's a pretty
But
traumatic.
no, he cut her arm off at the fucking house. The shock doesn't last for that long.
He put her in a bag and hold on. He put her in a bag,
also
carried her
put
over
her
the
in a
shoulder,
bag.
and walked from point A to point B. So she
Yeah,
has
that-
been bleeding out that whole time.
And I think she might have been partially
And it's
blind.
probably pretty hot out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't.
There
That
are
seems
a
like
lot
it
of
seems so. It's so
I mean,
convenient.
as a medical professional, if we're going to be realistic, she should have probably been dead.
As
somebody
somebody
Yeah,
who's
the
hallucinating-
Well,
point
she has
is,
all that magic blood.
the point is just insanely convenient. And here again, like Jaren is
Jaren, as we've seen so far, doesn't actually have a reason to love Barnier and betray Jacopo and the girls at the brothel.
Syndrome.
So far, we.
What Stockholm Syndrome? She wasn't kidnapped. She
Yes,
was
she
free
was.
for the.
She was literally
She was free to go around the brothel for like years by that point.
But that point,
He-
that she
he
could have
said-
been brainwashed.
He did send her.
Yeah, like
What do you mean brainwashed?
She was a slave.
yeah, he probably just convinced her that like, hey, help me, and
Do we
she
know
didn't
how old she
understand the
was?
nature of her action.
Whenever she was kidnapped.
I think I.
She's
It's
16
like
now.
16, yeah.
No, when she was kidnapped.
When she was
Oh.
first kidnapped, like 5, and then I
That
forget
is
when the second
easily
time
enough time to be
happened.
groomed.
Yeah, it takes a lot of years. And a lot of manipulation.
But then why the whole thing with her being unable to feel like negative emotions, and what does that have to do with anything with that case?
That said, I will say
No,
that.
but why? I get why it happened. What's the point of it?
Hold on.
Because
There will be some additional explaining happening in the future. Please sit tight.
Okay.
Okay, there's gonna be
Okay.
future material.
Like, normally I don't
Okay.
say it. I mean, I guess technically speaking, I do actually kind of say this stuff, but on this particular occasion, in order to quell the masses, I will tell you that there will be some explaining.
I did preface it with that, like, judging based on what we've seen so far, and if there's anything in the future, then obviously.
I will also preface his preface. I don't want people getting expectations that some things will be explained. Not all things will be explained. Use
Yeah,
your
but-
imagination.
Yeah, but someone's gonna be an outlaw.
I will say, I do somewhat
I wonder
agree with
who.
you on this, Rindy, that with the current information, I do think it is a bit silly, their current explanation.
Kind of an asshole, yes.
Okay.
What?
Alright, you got anything else to say, Rendell?
No, I'm done.
Okay, cool. Crimson, you got anything to add to the equation really quickly?
I'm trying to think. Most people already said what I said would think beforehand. I'm trying
Cool
to think.
beans.
Yeah, I think that would be it for right now.
Alrighty
A lot of
then.
times- Mhm.
I am going to push the end stream button then. Good night, everybody.
Step in my brother in arms.
Brother in arms.
Good night, brother.